You're listening to an old episode of MGM. Sorry, guys. If you want to watch new stuff, go to patreon.com/Metal Gear Mondays to support us, and we will, it'll fund our drinking problems to create more Metal Gear Mondays. And the cycle continues.
Welcome to another episode of Metal Gear Mondays, your one-stop shop for all things Metal Gear, where we are taking on the series in a book club-esque fashion. I am your host, Alessio Summerfield, and this week I am joined by Sam Wright.
I don't like change.
And
you've changed everything.
And Isaac Lim.
I'm trapped in a closet.
Sweet.
I'm trapped in the closet.
Isaac has got, this week he's recording from a closet from Alabama. So, and I am using my good sound recording equipment this week, everybody. So, hooray, we're back to your regularly scheduled production value.
And cue clip of Lady Gaga's applause.
Are you guys just going to keep doing that so that I have to include them?
Yes.
Damn it. And Sam is coming at you this week from his bedroom, so we're going to get intimate.
So you're going to see a side of me that you maybe haven't seen before.
Yeah, so try and see if you can listen in on what his room might be like.
I don't like this already. I hate it.
Awesome. Well, if you are coming at this show from having listened last week, we are continuing down our path through Metal Gear Solid 2. And if you are new, we are taking every game in the series, both canon and not canon, and we are tackling them piece at a time and acting as your audio version of the game. Mm-hmm. So if you want to play along, feel free. If you do not want to play along, you can listen to us instead. I don't know. I know that from time to time we will skim over details, so we're not an exhaustive resource, but I will say that we're fucking excruciating to listen to because we are talking about a 12-hour game in more time than it takes to play the game. So, that being said, welcome.
I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah. So we're your way of playing video games while you commute to work. How awesome is that? If you guys do want to play along, definitely let us know about each section of the game or the game in general. If your comments have spoilers for parts of the game that we haven't gotten to yet, we will edit around them. But if you want to talk about the game at large, feel free. We'd love to read your responses on the air. And yeah, so without further ado, we're going to get into it. Sam, can you tell us what we did last week?
Last week, we had a crazy time defusing bombs around Shell 1 of the Big Shell. Peter Still Black Man blew up. Yeah, it was bad. He blew up, so we don't have his African-American brand of wisdom anymore. We took on Fortune and realized that she can't die.
I thought you could give me peace.
We accidentally killed Vamp, and he's not dead.
I died once already.
And then we killed Fat Man.
Laugh and grow fat.
And now we're off to our next adventure.
Yeah, and this week we're going to learn another ability that Vamp has that is going to blow your fucking mind. Isaac, do you want to tell us a little bit about what we're going to cover this week?
I'll try. I'll do my best, Alessio.
Oh, yeah, and this is my favorite segment of the show.
Fumbling in the dark with Isaac Lim.
Hooray! Isaac, fumble.
Yeah, here we go, guys. This week on Metal Gear Mondays. This is where the music starts, just so you... And I lost my train of thought. Here we go.
Thank you for cueing.
All right. Perfect. And scene. Next week.
No, I will get this right. I promise. This week we're gonna talk about going and I'm fumbling again.
Isaac and his trademark
Would you like
fumbling.
Would you like to phone a friend?
Give me 2 seconds, all right, Sam? Just 2 little seconds. Well,
I'm so sorry. I feel like I've offended you, and I'm sorry for that.
we're trying to get to... We're going to go to Shell 1, I think. And then
Oh, man.
defuse some more bombs. Are we doing that?
No, we're done with that.
No bombs.
Oh, I know what we're doing. We're trying to rescue the president.
Yeah. Are we cool enough dudes to rescue the president?
No, we're not.
The problem was we didn't rescue the president yet, so
Spoilers.
that's why I didn't know where we were going.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to...
We're on the hunt. We're trying to find information.
I do have a little list of, not corrections, but kind of additions from last week. So first off, I completely forgot that Peter's still Black Man. He hints at Otacon being inserted into the big shell with the seals, which we did not touch on at all. Essentially, he talks about how he got to the big shell, and he said that on the helicopter there was like a skinny, nerdy scientist guy.
I was like, how many of those do we actually know?
Yeah, so there was a little allusion to that. The other thing is, I forgot to ask Isaac,
Hey,
and mainly because for some reason my PS3 save was not updated to where my Vita save was, so I had to play through part of the game again. But Isaac,
hey.
did you fall victim to any of the false floors on the connecting bridges?
Oh my god.
We're talking about getting into Shell.
No, not like, I mean, that's a big one. But before that, if you go from the sediment pool to the parcel room on the bottom, there's a bunch of false floors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did you find those?
I don't think I ever went through there.
Okay, cool.
I don't
Because I
think
was
I
running
have to.
through it today and I was like, oh shit. I forgot this was here. I wonder if Isaac fell.
That's your first reaction.
That was my first
I wonder if Isaac died here.
and then the one correction I wanted to give is I had to refight Fat Man for some reason. I was too lazy to boot up the Vita and save it and not do it again. So I just did it anyway.
Which, when you think about it, it took more effort to replay the part than it did to do that. So.
Yeah, but I was doing my due diligence for the listeners. So,
Right. No, absolutely.
so
It's all for the listeners.
It's all for the listener.
You keep telling yourself that, bro.
But anyway, so tranking Fat Man literally does not do anything different. So the one thing is, like, if you trank Fat Man instead of killing him, he has the little like dizzy thing above his head. But he still drops still Black Man's dog tags. So it doesn't change anything, which sucks because I said that last episode, so I apologize. But yeah, so this week, the very first thing that happens is after the Fat Man fight, we encounter a ninja.
We passed with flying colors.
Who could it be?
The cyborg ninja. It sounds like this.
But yeah, so we encounter the ninja. It's very reminiscent of Metal Gear Solid 1's encounter with the ninja, because the ninja drops a lot of lines like, I'm like you and I have no name, and a bunch of other shit. Also, we hear these weird words. We hear lale lule lo again.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the first time in the series that this has been mentioned, right?
It's the first time since the tanker, because actually
that's
the whatever rank the guy was that was giving the speech.
Scott Dolph. Yeah.
Yeah, he says lale lule lo as well.
Lale Lulelo.
Isaac, what are your thoughts on lale lule lo? Do you have thoughts? What is it? What could it be?
I mean, is this a trick question? Am I supposed to know by now?
No, you're not supposed to know, but I'm
Okay.
curious as to what your thoughts are on what the hell that could even be.
A secret,
Okay.
right? Did I?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It's weird to me because for me replaying this, I completely forgot. Like, I don't know. I tried to put my shoes as much as I could into the try and put my mindset into somebody who is playing this for the first time again, and I definitely like immediately was like, "What the fuck is this thing that they keep saying?"
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard actually.
Yeah, and it's really weird too because they say it really fast and then they like no one acknowledges it. Like no one is like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Just a messenger from the Lali Lulelo.
Because that's something that they kind of explain like in other games. Mm-hmm. The term Lali Lulelo and why that's so significant.
Yeah, and like why no one acknowledges it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll get to that at some point. But it's definitely something that to think about. There are a lot of allusions to secrets and trust with this cutscene with the ninja because the ninja says a lot of things like, "You don't have the clearance to know that yet," or like, "I don't have the clearance to tell you," which is interesting. The ninja tells us about Ames, who is someone who knows where the president is held, which is kind of our next objective. There's mention of VIP nanomachines and a pacemaker, which is how we're supposed to figure out who the hell Ames is. Because to the listener, so this man named Ames, or woman, we don't know, this hostage with the name of Ames, knows where the president is held and knows more about what's happening at the Big Shell. And the only thing the ninja tells us is to seek out Ames and to use a directional microphone, which is conveniently in the in the Shell one. Use the directional microphone to listen for the hostage who has a pacemaker, and that's all we're told.
And then the ninja gives you a set of BDUs because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to dress up as one of the soldiers in the shell and sneak into the room where the hostages are being held in order to find Ames.
What does BDU stand for? Because I always thought it was Bad Dude Uniform.
That is not... I knew this once upon a time because obviously coming from the background of a military child, but I think it stands for battle dress uniform, I want to say.
Oh, gotcha.
But what did you say? Bad dude what?
Bad Dude Uniform.
Oh, you're the worst.
But yeah,
I just
everybody who
looked it
wears
up.
BDUs...
It is battle dress uniform.
Yeah, I'm awesome.
sweet. So we're also given a level 2 security card. And pro tip, every single time you get a security card, go back to strut F and check the doors.
Yep.
In this specific instance, you're kind of told that you need a specific weapon to blend in. And so if you've been observant, then you know that weapons are in strut F, which is the warehouse. So you're looking
the worst.
Yeah, so you're looking for an AK-74U, which always throws me off because it's got AK and 47 in it, but it's actually 74.
Yep.
And likewise, you're told that you're going to need to perform a retinal scan to get into the room that the hostages are held in. So we'll figure this out when we get there. The other big things that we're told at this point is Raiden is like, "Oh, we gotta save the day before the nuke gets activated." And the ninja says, actually, the nuke is in the terrorist's possession, and the terrorists actually have the code. And we won't figure out more about this until we talk to Ames, but Raiden's like, "Wait, what?" And we're also told that the Big Shell is not a cleanup plant, and that the Big Shell has actually been a front for where they're housing the latest Metal Gear project.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of just like revelations in this conversation.
The next 2 hours of the game are full of stuff like that.
Totally.
It's insane.
And likewise too, the ninja gives us a shitty
fucking
Nokia cell phone.
Yeah, and he's like, Ryan's like, "Why would I need this?" And then just like, "Peace," and then kind of disappears. "Deuces, I'll talk to you later."
Keep the controller's vibration function on.
Yeah.
Oh, he disappears.
The ninja disappears.
It's like, huh?
And likewise, too, just to be a naysayer for a second, this is kind of my one minor issue with the game. There's a lot of hand-holding, and specifically this part of the game kind of rears its ugly head, where the ninja tells you several times what you need to be doing. The colonel literally then chimes in immediately after to tell you the exact same information all over again. And then Rose actually tells you the exact same shit again. So you're being constantly hammered with, like, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it. And I almost wish there was a little less hand-holding. Like, I wish they were like, this is what you need to do, figure it out. But I will say, there being too much repetition and the colonel feeling... I don't know. It's interesting, and Isaac, I'm interested to see what you think, and hopefully this statement doesn't color your thoughts. To me, the colonel seems very impersonal, and the colonel feels plastic and kind of gamey in a bad way. And a lot of the shit that he says just feels very repetitive. And I know personally from playing the game that this is for a reason, but I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are.
So there is a reason behind it. Well, I figured that's just the way that the colonel, because I guess what's his name, Raiden is like a fresh out of VR school and whatnot. So I figure the colonel was there to kind of help him out. I mean, I don't really know if there's any reason for it, or if they're just actually helping the player, like holding their hand more or so than for story reasons. But I mean, is there a reason? It sounds like there's a reason.
I mean, it will rear its ugly head later. But okay. I don't know. It's interesting It's interesting how much the game feels worse than the first game. Like, the first game, it felt pretty organic. Like, why you were doing things and everyone telling you why. Like, even when it was repetitive, it felt like it was because people thought it was important.
Right.
And the dialogue felt real. But it's weird how long this game feels super gamey in a bad way on purpose. Not to give too much away, but I think we're getting dangerously close. Like, I was talking to Sam off the record, and like literally 2 episodes from now, we're going to be getting into a crazy part of the game. And so,
for sure.
So we're getting dangerously close to kind of these things, but it's weird to me as like somebody who knows what's going to happen and somebody who's played this game before. It's, I guess, in long story short, I can understand why people get frustrated with this game, because it takes so long for it to show you its hand, if that makes sense.
I can agree with that. Because coming at it from a perspective of somebody who has played it and beaten it several times, I see where it's going. But if I would have gotten this game, so say they gave me this game with like whatever updated graphics and gameplay, but the same story, the same set of story beats, I feel like it would have been a game I would have been very frustrated with. If I was playing it for the first time. I kind of actually, Isaac, kind of, how does it translate to you? Like, has it been frustrating kind of dealing with the story thus far, or?
I don't think. I mean, for me, I think I play different. Well, I guess everybody plays differently from everybody, but I don't necessarily mind a little bit of hand holding. It kind of, I don't know. For me, it helps me because I don't see all the subtleties and the real little things that players are supposed to pick up on, and so I don't really mind a lot of hand holding if it helps me get along with the game, and it doesn't. Because for me, if there's like no hand holding, which is fine, I like that a lot, but then I get stuck and then I get frustrated and then I just don't want to play the game anymore. Sometimes there's like a fine line and there's like a balance that there needs to be, and I feel like Metal Gear Solid 1 was on one end, and then 2 was like on a completely the opposite end, right? So it's just, I don't know. I guess they didn't hit the balance yet.
So kind of like maybe finding like a strategic hand-holding balance.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it sounds like they are going somewhere with it, which is what y'all are implying. But I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
My last question for Isaac before we kind of move on to the rest of the episode is so I don't know. So in a weird way, there's a difference between. And like I'm rewatching Twin Peaks right now, and like I'm a big fan of games like Deadly Premonition and stuff like that. So like there are a couple different schools of this, but like so there's really shitty game dialogue that's just really shitty because people don't know how to write. And then there's like really shitty game dialogue or really shitty dialogue in general that's done for a reason. So like Twin Peaks the show is meant to feel like a soap opera, but like a soap opera with a dark twist. And in a lot of ways, like Deadly Premonition has fucking horrendous dialogue. But it's
absolutely terrible.
Yeah, but it's for a reason. Like it's for laughs. It's for I don't know, for like almost like a meta contextual kind of like almost like so bad it's good on purpose. But Isaac, I'm really, really interested because honestly, if you like, let's really kind of sit down and think about it for a second. The dialogue in Metal Gear Solid 2, like how frequently did we point out in the first season of our show how goofy and hammy the dialogue was in MGS1? And how frequently have we pointed it out in MGS2? And I feel like if you think about it, MGS2 has had way more like what the fuck moments with the dialogue. And people don't like the characters in the game are not like pointing out how ridiculous the dialogue is. So I was curious from your perspective, since you played 1 and now you're playing 2 almost immediately, does 2 feel poorly written in comparison to 1, or does it feel the same?
I guess it's hard to say because I feel like 1 had a lot of dialogue in it. Like the cutscenes were super long, and 2 has some pretty long ones too. But I don't know. It's hard to. I don't really pick up on like nuances and differences. I definitely feel there is a difference between 1 and 2 writing style wise, and I don't know if that's maybe because Kojima got like a bigger team or something and kind of passed off his duties to other people. I don't know. I think that the writing isn't up to par as 1 was, but it's still it gets the job done, I guess you could say.
Nice. Sam, do you have anything that you wanted to add to that? I know we can talk a lot more about this shit when we get further in, but like It's like right now it's starting to kind of like start to make a little bit sense in the context.
Right. I think a lot of the stuff that was kind of wrong with Metal Gear Solid 1, kind of looking back at it objectively now, or like I guess not objectively, but like from a standpoint of somebody who's kind of experienced the game, I feel like a lot of the stuff that I would have called wrong or over the top in 1 are highlighted in 2 a little bit more. Like primarily like the whole thing where Snake repeats everything everybody says. Raiden does it all the time, and he does it more often, and he does it more like annoyingly. Would you call it? Like, I guess that's a word.
Well, I'd agree with that because even in the clip, so last episode I used very few voice clips, and I apologize for that. I like using those, but I was kind of in a time crunch. But towards the end of the last episode of Metal Gear Mondays, we used a clip from the Fat Man fight, and specifically, Fat Man says a line, and then Raiden responds rapid fire with like 6 questions. Like he's like, "What do you mean? What are you doing? What is that? Like, what's going on?" Like back to back to back to back.
What do you mean? What did you just do? What is this? Answer me. What the hell is this? Huh?
And I think that kind of it showcases the point that you're trying to make, Sam, is that like Raiden is doing what we called Snake out for doing, but like way more.
Yeah.
Well, going back to like what you said, what you have been saying, Alessio, about how Kojima took the things that the complaints that people had with 1, and he like flipped it on its side and to screw with the audience and get a reaction from them. Mm-hmm. Could you say that? I mean, that's what he's doing here.
Yeah, I would say. So again, all will make sense kind of the further that we go, but like it almost feels aggressive. Like that's to me as a player and as somebody who's like looking at it as a game, it feels like the development of MGS2 is almost intentionally so that certain decisions feel like actively aggressive. So it feels like the developer is like actively saying like, we've heard your complaints, fuck you. And like it's interesting because like I don't know, there's a lot going on here, and I know for a lot of people that are listening to this, it probably sounds like we're just kind of like smelling our own farts and like talking about it. But like I will say this, I've literally had a good friendship with somebody completely fall out because of discussion of this game. Because honestly, we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna talk about this game in such like a meta contextual level that like for people who kind of come into games and like to kind of role play or like to like take a game at like face value, we're going to talk at like a level of abstraction that you may or may not be familiar discussing later on. So this game is going to get crazy. And I don't know. I think as far as this episode is concerned, this is probably about as far into it as I really want to get because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I'm just going to go ahead and push us further along if that's cool with you guys.
Push it.
Right, good.
Sweet.
Push it real good.
So you immediately, like we mentioned, have to go to Strut F to get the AK-74U. I will say that coming in from the top and just running straight down the stairs and knowing where the gun was, me getting the gun and then going to the Shell 1 building took me like 2 fucking seconds. I don't know if it was the same for you, Sam.
It was the same way for me. I mean, even like I just killed everybody in Straight F because I'm that way, and I hate it. But it was like, let me find the gun and then go to the shell, and it just kind of happened rapidly like that.
Did you have a hard time with it, Isaac?
No. I mean, it took me a lot longer than 2 seconds, guys. But it wasn't terrible. I just kind of, well, I will say that getting around all the patrol guards was a little tricky. I remember tipping them off and then having to run away a lot, or them finding me and then running away and then hiding and then just waiting. I remember doing that a lot, and I don't know if that's just me not being sneaky enough or what, but
later on I had the same sort of issues. Like, actually I think it was before this, like it was on the last episode, hanging out in Strut F, specifically Strut F because of like how many angles you can get spotted at. Dude, I'm not even kidding. I had to hide in like air ducts for like probably a couple minutes at a time just to wait for shit to clear.
Yeah.
And I will say later on in this episode even, I just said to hell with it and just started massacring people. And I was hoping it would get to a point where like even though there was an alert that I could literally just kill everyone and make the alert go away. But I murdered probably like 20, 30 people and they were still coming. So
like
it's difficult.
endless. It's like, how many dudes are there on this damn plant?
Yeah, like I should have killed everybody at this point. But awesome. So essentially you get the AK-74U. You have your complete outfit at this point, and so you're going to run back through the EF bridge, and you're going to hang a left to get into the Shell 1 building proper. Isaac, you made allusion to this. This bridge, not only are there claymores if you haven't cleared them out in that little hub area, but whenever you're crossing the bridge to get to the Shell 1 building, every fucking floorboard falls out from beneath you. Did anybody have any issues with that? I remembered it the minute I stepped out on the bridge and just trucked straight to the end of the bridge. Did you guys have any issues?
Trucking it.
Trucking it. I mean, that's what I did, obviously, but I don't recall ever having problems with it when I was, like, first playing it, for some reason. Like, it seemed like a very strange sound when you hear that when you step on it. So it's kind of like I want to not be on this space right now, so I'm just going to run. And it turns out that was the good instinct to have.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Isaac, did you have any issues with it?
Well, question for you two. How did you guys manage the ciphers? Did you guys...
I like to shoot them.
Yeah, there's two things. So you can chaff grenade them, or what you can do is if you have the SOCOM or any lethal weapon, you can shoot. If you shoot the camera on top, they explode in one hit.
Oh.
But if you shoot the little bottom part, you have to shoot them twice to blow them up.
Okay.
So
I was just chaffing them up. Oh, shoot. So I pushed a button on my computer and it did something.
Oh, okay. You still good?
Yeah, I'm good. Anyway, yeah, so I went the chaff route. Chaff. I don't know how you say that word.
I just say chaff.
Chaff. That seemed to be pretty effective.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's a good, solid way to do it.
if you do it quick enough,
Solid.
if you run from the like as soon as you enter the EF connecting bridge, if you just book it for the Shell 1 building, the ciphers don't have enough time to get there.
Oh.
And likewise too, there's a dude who climbs up to the top of the heliport and will like binocular you, which is a nightmare.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I will say, so you can get the SOCOM suppressor in Shell 1 building. As soon as I got that suppressor, Sam, I don't know what it was. I was like, my non-lethal run just fell away from me, and I was like, it's time to murder mercilessly.
No, as soon as I got that suppressor, I was like, wait. I was like, just wait until I get the AK suppressor, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude.
Then it's over.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I can one-shot SOCOM snipe people like nobody's business. Like even the dude who's like on top of Strut E, I can like pop him in like a second from the connecting bridge.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. So like I don't know. At this point in the game, I was just like, I'm gonna clear out every single strut so that I can check it out, and like be able to explore for the show.
yeah.
So just know for people listening, we're ruining our game rank so that we can explore for the show.
For the record, I would have ruined my game rank anyway.
And also, for the record, my game rank is already ruined.
Isaac's game rank was ruined before he started playing the game.
It said, "Oh, Isaac's playing. Okay, we'll just yeah."
Give him rank F immediately. Excuse me, rank E.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So we've gathered all of our stuff, and we're in the shell. And what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to get a guard and drag him to the retinal scanner.
Oh, we gotta get one tool before then, Sam.
Oh yeah, we have to go downstairs to get the microphone.
Yep, and there's a couple crazy things in there.
Oh yeah, there's that parrot
Yep. Tell us
who
about
keeps
the
on
parrot.
telling you, top of the locker.
And he says, "How?"
Yeah, how? So you're like, what is this parrot, and why is he saying how?
Yep.
Because people who've been paying attention know that Otacon's name is Hal. So this parrot's just saying Hal, and we don't know why.
Is it Hal's parrot?
I don't know.
Oh no, they stole his parrot.
Likewise, as soon as you get into the big shell building, or the Shell 1 building, there's a codec conversation between Rose and Raiden, and essentially Rose is kind of grilling Raiden a little bit on like, why are you so fascinated with Solid Snake? Like, he's dead, and Raiden, and like he's a terrorist, and Raiden's like, I don't think he is. I think he's a good dude. But Rose kind of reveals here that like, essentially they exhumed Solid Snake's body from where he was buried after the tanker went down, which, I mean, that's kind of nice that they gave him a full burial. for being a terrorist. But they exhumed his body and they gave a DNA check, and they were like, no, this is Solid Snake's corpse. Like, he can't possibly be at the Big Shell. But we also get another little tidbit, and that's Solid Snake's corpse is missing its right arm.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so if you've been paying attention, you should know this twist before it gets revealed shortly.
I guess I was kind of hoping to meet the legend in the flesh.
I get you. But it looks like he's not behind this incident.
Raiden, the president needs you, I think.
Well, I mean, if you've been looking at the game since, like, maybe an hour into the game, you knew what the twist was. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. And likewise,
like
too...
There's totally a character that kind of spoils the whole thing for you right there at the beginning. So...
this is one of my favorite zones, man. I really like the Shell 1 building a lot.
I do too, yeah.
I don't know what it is about it. I guess because it almost feels like MGS1 again. But I really, really like it a lot. Isaac, what did you think?
It's the elevator. The elevator makes it. I thought it was really cool. I like the little throwbacks and the little tidbits in the little computer room. Also, it was cool to walk around and not have any guards get suspicious. Although, on the flip side, I ran into this issue a couple times. I was just standing there, right? And this guard bumps into me. I didn't do anything. He bumps into me. And, you know, when you bump into a guard, your BDU goes away or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of
forgot about that.
Yeah, so that kind of frustrated me because I was literally just standing there. I don't know what I was doing. And a guard just bumps into me. And then
like the guys in the bottom level in that computer room, like for some reason, like one of them just like rockets out and like is like doing like
the yawning
jazzercise walking around the whole place. You're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, he like yawns, and then shortly after he yawns, he's like, "Nah, gotta go," and just like runs. It's weird. In a weird way, the game becomes kind of like a bullet hell in this building because it's like don't touch anybody, and like that kind of becomes the objective.
It's like the most dangerous game of No Wake Daddy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and that being said, too, like I want to get walked into so hard that my clothes disappear.
Oh. Yeah, for real.
Like who does that happen to? Like. But yeah, so there's two cool things. So you go to B2 to get the directional mic. You can go to B1, hang out a little bit, and then go to B2 if you want. I really don't like how you have to check the nodes on the different fucking floors to get the radar for it. Yeah. You would think that one would give you the whole building, which it has done. Even Strut E, you check the terminal at the bottom and you get the heliport. So I don't understand. But once you get the directional mic on B2, there are a couple little Easter eggs. So there's a Police Knots poster as soon as you walk into the room, which is cool. Likewise, right next to the terminal, and I didn't notice this. This is literally the first, like I've beaten this game tons of times. This is the first time I've noticed it. If you are in first-person view looking at the terminal, if you look to your left, there's a Zone of the Enders and a Ghost Babel poster.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, because the way that it's set up is like the overhead camera, you can't see them. So this is like the first time, I guess, that I hit R1 while I was standing in front of the terminal, and I was like, "Oh, holy crap, that's really cool." So yeah, we have episodes on Ghost Babel and Zone of the Enders. So
there you go.
Definitely watch or listen to those if you haven't already. But those are pretty good games, and it was cool to kind of see some fan service. Sam, what happens next, buddy? You were alluding to it earlier.
I was. So once you get the directional microphone, you got to go back upstairs, and you have to essentially find a way to activate the retinal scanner to get into the conference room. And the way you do this is there is a patrolling guard that comes out of that break room that you have to essentially choke and drag to the retinal scanner. And I remember always having problems with this when I did it before. I could never, like, get the guy. I would always flip him. And the way that you handle that is you have to press square without moving any of the directional things. Because if you move the directional things, you flip the dude over your shoulder. And that causes problems for you.
Yeah, you can just hold square. Like, I remember as a kid, I didn't realize that you could just grab the guy when he was standing right in front of it and trigger it. So what I did was I literally grabbed somebody out of the break room and held square and just like dragged them to it and then smashed their face into the retinal scanner. So yeah, if you hold it, you can kind of walk with them. And if they start to squirm, you can tap it and you'll kind of be like, no, fuck you. Like, come on.
Yeah. And that was my problem when I was younger too, is I would always try and get them while they were standing in front of the scanner. And that's the most inefficient way to do it. And then I would always flip them if I managed to grab them and drag them, because I was an impatient child and I wanted to move them that way. So I would just hold the button and then press square and it would flip them. So,
yikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you get into this room, you actually hear some of my favorite music in the game. Like, it's this weird, like, industrial sound, kind of like, I don't know, I'll put it right here. But no, I really like this music, and we are kind of introduced to this room where they're holding all of these hostages. And the first thing that caught me off guard is the first hostage that you're shown in the cutscene when you walk in the room is the fucking person that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So if you just beeline straight for that guy, I was like, are you serious? Like, you walk in and they're like, nope, here he is. And you're like, oh, yep. Okay.
I forgot what dude looked like, so I was looking for, and so I had it in my head that he looked a certain way. And I forgot that he looked a different way, so I was looking for people that fit my profile of him that I had in my head, and it was not working.
What was
so
that
I was just
profile?
like,
I wanted to
It
know.
was like, because I remember Ames being, because we're going to find out here in a second, it's a dude, and his name is Richard Ames, and I just kind of pictured him as, like, having a bald head, or, like, kind of like Hulk Hogan hair. If that makes any sense.
He kind of does.
He kind of does, but it's more of a full head of hair than it is bald. And I was looking for, like, straight up either a bald guy or Hulk Hogan hair, and I was not finding it. And, like, this one dude, like, wet himself when I asked if it was Ames.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, so none of these people are who I think it is, so let me just do this the traditional way. And I wound up finding him.
Nice. Isaac, did you have a hard time?
I actually got really lucky because I went and I went around looking for all the little goodies that I could pick up. And there was like a group of, what was it? There's something like a ammo or whatever I picked up, and I was like, okay, I'll start around this area. And it was like the first guy that I had mic'd. I was like, oh shoot. I had to make sure because I was like, I don't know what an irregular heartbeat would sound like. And so I ran around and checked a couple other ones, but I was like, nope, the first guy.
Yeah, it's got a little ding.
It's like a sonar. It sounds like sonar.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what pacemakers actually sound like, but that's really weird.
Yeah.
So say Hideo Kojima, so it will be.
That's true. But yeah, so we talk to this guy. It triggers a cutscene. We hear Lale Lulelo again.
Yeah.
Essentially, Ames. I'm pretty sure Ames asks if you were sent by the Lale Lulelo. And immediately, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, if I'm playing this for the first time, like, were we sent by them? Who the fuck are they? Why doesn't Raiden even acknowledge that the phrase was said again? Ames apparently does not know about any killed hostages. When Raiden mentions, like, they've already killed a hostage, Ames is like, what are you talking about? Essentially, Ames mentions that the password for the black case, which was the case that earlier there was a Navy SEAL who had a single handcuff on his wrist. And if you remember from the Fortune and Vamp bridge battle, when they pick up the president, Vamp also picks up a black briefcase. Ames tells us that this briefcase is the password is essentially the president's biometric, like, vital signs. and that the black case is not only the launch code for the nuke, but it's also the launch code to activate Metal Gear, and that literally everything was planned for this to be a Metal Gear test site. Not only was the building of the big shell planned, but he specifically mentions that the sinking of the tanker and the oil spill, and that all of it was planned for this reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then we finally get to see Snake for the first time, a.k.a. King. The man in the sneaking suit gets discussed, which I think is one of the most provocative terms I've ever heard, like, the man in the sneaking suit. We hear the word Patriots for the first time in the entire series.
Yep.
And in this weird cutscene where you have to use the directional mic or you can't hear what's going on. Oh my god.
Motherfucking Johnny Sasaki.
Yeah, Johnny's in it.
This one's worse than that one up in Alaska. Come to think of it, that commander chick really reminded me of someone.
So Isaac, I highly doubt you found this unless you were like aiming around willy-nilly. But if you, so say you're looking at Ocelot and Snake directly in front of you, if you turn to the furthest corner of the stage that the podium is on, and you aim your mic there, you can hear Johnny, the guard who was guarding Meryl in MGS1.
Right.
You can hear him struggling with diarrhea.
Oh my god!
Again.
Yep.
Dang it!
And it's really funny because I think he's talking about Olga, isn't it? And how like violent she is and like domineering. And he goes, "She's like her," referencing Meryl from the first game.
Oh no!
It's really funny. And this is not the first time that Johnny's in this game, so we'll encounter him again later. But it's also with a directional mic.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I'll have to keep my eye out for him.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We may have to tell you.
Oh yeah,
because it's kind of like if you're not thinking about it, it's not something that you would do.
Yeah, and likewise too, if you can find both Johnny's situations, you actually get a trophy.
Oh man,
in the Legacy Collection, yeah.
But yeah, so essentially we also find out that the president has to log in by his own free will because of the way that it scans his vital signs. Mm-hmm. So if he's been drugged or if he's being like held at gunpoint, he can't turn on the system, which is pretty interesting. But then we almost immediately find out that the president has actually logged in already. And we find out from Ocelot and Snake that the president has actually already activated the nuke and Metal Gear, and that they just have to do like a verification scan in an hour. And then they also mention a girl starting the system, so we don't know who this girl is. And
little Chicky Poo.
Yeah. And right before Olga enters the room, we hear Snake mention Outer Heaven, which is interesting. Because Outer Heaven is the military fortress nation that Big Boss started in Metal Gear 1. And so it sounds as if Snake is trying to recreate Outer Heaven. And by Olga and Ocelot talking, we can actually clearly tell that Ocelot has apparently lied about her father dying, because she seems to be on good terms with Ocelot, and Ocelot's like, "Oh, are you trying to blame me for the death of your father? Yeah. Like he was my best friend.
Sergey was my best friend."
Yeah, that's a direct quote. Good job, Isaac.
Because he conveniently skirts around the fact that he was totes the one who killed him.
Yeah. My favorite two final parts about this cutscene are that Snake has a cape.
Oh yeah.
And that Ocelot.
That Snake.
Ocelot says the words, "I never trust a Frenchman." I can't remember in relation to who. Oh no, he's talking about the person who gave him the surgery for his arm, because his arm starts freaking out in this cutscene. And they hint at the fact that maybe it's because, quote, he's here, and we have no idea who the fuck he's talking about. But yeah, so what did you think about this whole cutscene, Isaac?
It was interesting because I mean I was too scared to miss any bit of conversation with the mic, so I was like constantly trying to go back and forth. But other than that, I mean, Let me think about it. I'm trying to think back.
Sam, while Isaac thinks,
give me a
what did
second.
what did you think about the cutscene?
I think the entire cutscene was pretty badass. It was kind of reminiscent of the cutscene in Metal Gear Solid 1 when you get into the hangar where Metal Gear is, and you're just like watching Liquid and Ocelot talk to each other about like the plan. Mm-hmm. It just seemed like a very and this game again has been full of like callbacks to the first game that are almost identical, and this scene really kind of echoed that scene from the first one, and I thought that was really cool.
Well, to echo that too, do you think that they're intentionally having this conversation so that you can spy on them?
That I don't know.
I think so. Because wasn't it? I just remembered. I'm sorry to interject.
Oh
Sam.
no, feel free.
Is this
Interject to your heart's content.
Because when Raiden was talking with Ames and he was like squatting down, Ocelot was watching him on the screen or whatever, so he knew that he was
Oh yeah, that's right.
talking with Ames.
I forgot about that little surveillance camera
Yeah.
angle that we get.
So
now,
maybe
now
it was
do you
all-
think it was just Ocelot that saw him, or do you think that it was?
I
Because
think
we're
it
gonna
was
get
just
down
Ocelot.
because we're gonna get down and dirty with some stuff about Ocelot, like in an episode, like next episode probably. But I don't think that Solidus and Olga or Snake. I'm sorry. Shh.
Oh no!
Spoilers. I don't think Snake and Olga.
10-minute spoilers.
Yeah, knew that that it was Raiden who was in that suit. I think Ocelot was the only one that really saw
Oh,
it
I think Ocelot knows way more than he's letting on.
clearly.
But yeah, so essentially Ames kind of beckons you to talk back to him, and you guys are talking via codec so that nobody hears you. And Ames says us in relation to the president being sick of being a puppet. He says that essentially since the president triggered this bomb and activated Metal Gear, Ames essentially says, well, like, no. He's like, that totally makes sense. Like, the president's probably just sick of being kind of manipulated. And Raiden's like, by who? And Ames doesn't really specify. Ames says that there was no ransom to begin with, and that the Terrys were planning to use a high atmosphere nuke to begin with. They didn't want to trade or negotiate.
Which again goes back to like nobody really knows what the fuck is going on. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's there for a different reason, and nobody really knows why.
Totally. And likewise, too, we find out that the terrorists actually don't want to nuke a place. They want to detonate a nuke in the atmosphere so that they can knock out all electronics and liberate Manhattan. Mm-hmm. So essentially their MO is to like knock Manhattan off the grid, which goes to the original subtitle of Metal Gear Solid 2, which is Sons of Liberty. And so we actually hear Ames say, like, this is why they're calling themselves the Sons of Liberty. And Ames gives you keycard level 3. Ocelot decides to walk in on your little tea party, and one of the weirdest, like, what's the word I'm looking for? QuickTime event, I guess? Or like Metal Gear's version of a QuickTime event is like Ocelot's walking towards you, and like a little timer pops up, and you have like 8 seconds to equip your AK.
It's like a little mini game.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like, quick, equip your AK, and it's like, why didn't you just put this in the cutscene? I don't understand. Like,
It was really funny because I think they did it to like make it seem like you could do something. Mm-hmm. And it was really funny because I remember when I was younger, I got tricked into thinking that you could, if you were really quick, you could get Ocelot's dog tags.
oh,
So I used to think for the longest that you could, you had like a short amount of time to shoot him with a trank gun, and then you could drag his body and get the dog tags and then run back to your spot, and he would wake up and not question the fact you just shot him with a trank gun, and then everything would just proceed as normal. You can't do that. That's not a thing. So don't try it. It's people trying to make you get a game over. But
yeah. Well, and Ocelot walks up and refers to Ames as Colonel Ames, which is interesting because we don't know what Ames's like role is in the government, so it's kind of interesting. And there's a lot of talk of they and them, and we hear Ocelot refer to the Lale Lulelo again. And so it sounds like the Lale Lulelo are some sort of like shadow organization that is involved somehow. Ames immediately dies of like a fox die-esque heart attack, which I thought was interesting.
And you don't know if it's like, if it's because of something like that, or if it's just because he's getting like worked up and his pacemaker freaked out. But it's again another callback to Raiden, to like Snake in the first game interacting with important people and them just fucking dying of heart attacks.
Yeah, and then essentially the ninja shows up, saves the day, Raiden ducks the fuck out of there, and then we find out that the president is actually in Shell 2.
Yep.
And then we have to run the fuck out of the Shell core. Isaac, can you tell us about your experience getting out of the Shell core? Because I'm gonna go on my soapbox real quick and just tell you guys, I had a fucking nightmare getting out of here because I accidentally triggered an alert and just like AK'd my way out of the building. And it was a nightmare. Like trying to get the elevator to work was, because like the elevator won't work if there's an alert. So I had a nightmare of a time trying to get out of here, and probably ended up killing like tons of people, and almost died like 3 times.
Wow.
And ran out of rations like immediately. So I don't know, how was it for you guys?
For me, it was pretty quiet. For me, all right. So if that happened to me, and I triggered an alert, so that like that bad, I would just stand there and let them kill me. Quite frankly, I'm like,
personally, I would probably do the same thing.
There's no point in fighting this. Just start over.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Yeah. So mine was. I feel like I did it pretty seamlessly. I don't know.
Oh man.
Looks like it's fumbling in the dark with Alessio Summerfield,
with an AK-47. Nice. Yeah.
I had a similar experience to Isaac too. So you need to get your act together.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 has just like spoiled me. Like I keep waiting for like the reflex mode to kick in, and it just doesn't. I guess I'm just a bad Metal Gear player.
Well, yeah, the fact that you're seeing the reflex mode a lot in Metal Gear Solid 5 means bad things.
I know, guys. I just like the story, okay? But yeah, so essentially going back to the pro tip that I said before, you got a level 3 key card. That means go back to Strut F. If you didn't go back to Strut F,
you're in for a hell of a time.
You're in for a nice little throwback to backtracking for the sniper rifle.
Which I did because I forgot the trick about going back to Strut F to find the new weapon, because I had it handed to me for the AK, but I forgot that I needed to go back and get the sniper rifle.
Yep. Isaac, did you have to go back and get it?
I mean, didn't everybody have to go back and get it?
No, I know, but like, did you go get it, or did you have to go back and get it because you were told to go get it?
No, I got it. I went because I remember there was a bunch of level 3 doors.
Nice.
So I was like, I'll just see what's in those big old doors, those high level doors, and got it.
Nice. But yeah, essentially now we have access to this special room. So if you go to the sediment pool, Strut D, from the top of Strut D, you can go through a door that we couldn't go through before, and it's the connecting bridge that bridges Shell 1 and Shell 2. And you have a little cutscene essentially telling you that they have lined the bridge with a shit ton of C4, kind of like in the tanker. But this time, instead of 3 little boxes that you have to shoot, you have to use a sniper rifle, and there's like 7, I think.
Now, the key here is that, or at least with me, you can disable all of them with like a pistol, except for the one on the Cypher.
Yeah, that one's fucking bananas.
Yeah, and with that one, you have to hit the sensor. You can't blow up the Cypher, otherwise the whole thing blows up.
Yeah, and I think there's actually 10 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I had to redo this part.
I know that Isaac, you only have the PS3 version as reference, but Sam, I'm going to go and throw this out there. Does the PS3 feel like the controls are way more sensitive with aiming?
Maybe a little bit, but I also have always been bad at the sniper in this game without the diazepam. So, I don't know.
Even the SOCOM feels like really like I touch the analog stick and it'll like fly.
I've not noticed anything too crazy.
Gotcha.
But it's been a while since I played the original version, so I don't have a frame of reference.
Do you guys have an IR sensor that gave you more trouble than the rest? Because for me, it was the one that like, so you're standing in the doorway. For me, it was the one that's on the wall behind me. It took me forever to remember that there is one above the door directly behind me. Did you guys have one that gave you a lot of trouble?
The one behind the flag.
Oh, God.
I was like,
that one.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. That one.
It honestly was the cipher for me.
Oh,
because
really?
I was having a hell of a time trying to like get that lined up properly. Because whenever I would have the shot, it would like dart away, and I would have to redo myself. So I would always miss, and I wasted like a bunch of rounds on the cipher. Because all the other ones, I was like pop, 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 and I was like, I feel like I should be. There's one more here, and I was like looking around, and I found the one behind me. But it was the cipher that was moving around that got me. Especially because you have to be so precise with it. That was my problem. The precision you need to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, once you knock out all of these, you get a call from Pliskin, and Pliskin essentially tells you that he has a chopper working and that he sabotaged the other chopper, and he asks if the Harrier's on the heliport, and Raiden says no, and he goes, okay, cool, so I'll just park the Kasatka, which is the helicopter, on the heliport, and we can get these hostages out of here. But he says that he has to take multiple trips, and he tells Raiden that he has a pilot with him who is Otacon. And at this point, yeah, so hell yeah, Otacon's back. But at this point, Raiden calls the Colonel, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Fuck you telling me this isn't Snake. How is this not Snake if Otacon's involved? He's like, I remember Otacon's name from reading this book on the Shadow Moses incident. And what's funny is if you go into the options for the game, you can actually read the book that Raiden's talking about. And it's called In the Darkness of Shadow Moses. And whenever he brings it up to the Colonel flips the fuck out. He
gets super mad. He calls it trash, and he gets like really angry.
Yeah, he's like,
I don't understand. I read about you and Snake in the Darkness of Shadow Moses.
I don't give a damn what that piece of trash said. Do you get me?
He's like, don't listen to that trash. Like, it's the one moment where Colonel like really gets like human and like emotional. And what's funny is you can read the book in the options menu, and it's like 130 pages. Like, it's like a very in-depth book.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because it's from the perspective of like a reporter who ended up on Shadow Moses during the events. And it's cool because it's like completely different information than the game, and it's really funny because it's almost written like an article from this guy's perspective, and you just find out a lot of really funny shit about the reporter, and it's really cool. But either that or I might be confusing it with Natasha I can never remember her last name. Natasha from MGS1 also has a book that you can read in the options. And
I was gonna say Romanoff, but that's definitely Black Widow from Marvel.
Yeah. It's like Romanenko or something. I can't remember. But yeah, so anyway, we jump to and we see Solid Snake with a pimp lean in the doorway across the bridge. And he name checks the Patriots again. Solid Snake says that he recognizes Raiden, but he doesn't know where from. And then Pliskin comes out of nowhere on the helicopter and flips his shit. And he's just like, "You're not Solid Snake. Quit using his name."
And then Snake on the bridge is like, calls him brother.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And then Pliskin's just like, "Stop impersonating him." And I think that he's talking about Big Boss.
Yeah.
Because so if you and Isaac, I don't know if you looked at the character sketches in the manual for MGS1, which is the only place that you can see Big Boss.
Yeah.
From MGS1, but so I'm gonna go ahead and say this. So Solid Snake on the bridge reveals himself to be Solid Disc Snake.
The boss has surpassed Big Boss himself.
Yeah, and Solid Disc Snake's entire physical appearance is like spot on Big Boss. And if you remember, this is the guy who Otacon was on the phone with at the end of MGS1.
You mean Ocelot?
What?
Because you totes said Otacon.
Oh, my bad. This is who Ocelot's on the phone with at the end of MGS1.
President George Sears is actually Solid Snake.
Yep, so he's another Big Boss clone. And this guy has a Hulk suit. Sam, can you tell us about the Hulk suit?
Well, so he's calling it the Hulk suit because I told him this a couple days ago off the record that my note about this suit is Solidus's fucking Hulk suit, and that's it. So essentially what happens is that like Solidus triggers or something triggers one of the bombs on the bridge to blow up, so there's a bunch of fire everywhere. And then Solidus like slides across the bridge and loses his cape.
Yep.
And he's wearing this like it's kind of like a skeleton suit. And then he literally hulks up and the suit gets like super beefy. And then a bunch of like crazy stuff happens and he does like a flip off of the bridge, or he falls off the bridge and he lands on the fucking Harrier. And I'm like, oh, I guess I found it.
Yeah.
And Vamp's flying the Harrier.
Yeah,
set.
that cracked me up.
So now you have to fight a Harrier, and Snake, who we can now say Pliskin is Solid Snake from the first game.
Yay.
So we can finally stop pretending that everybody doesn't already know that was Solid Snake. And he throws a stinger and some ammo, a stinger missile launcher and some ammo down. And you are to use this to blow up the Harrier because he needs to get the helicopter pretty much the F out of Dodge.
Mm-hmm. And this is pretty much like the Hind fight, the Hind D fight from MGS1. And I will say this is fucking bananas. This plane turns on a dime. Like, not necessarily in the fight, but in the cutscene before the fight. This plane, like if you notice, it like flies away and hangs a quick left. That fucking plane turns sharper than my car does. So like I don't know, like it's a little weird, but yeah. So Isaac, we haven't heard from you in a second. Can you tell us any sort of thoughts that you had on the cutscene, because I know it's a lot of shit going on, and B, tell us a little bit about the fight, like how paint a picture for the viewer. What's this fight like?
All right. Here we go. Y'all ready?
I'm buckled in. Isaac.
All right. First of all, the cutscene, that was crazy. All right. What I thought. All right. So when Pliskin, when
you kind of really quick, you kind of sound like Harry Carey there for a second. I love that cutscene was really crazy.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Okay. So when Snake fires the first missile and it blows up the C4 behind Solidus.
Yep.
And Solidus does a little shuffle. That was kind of, I kind of laughed a little bit when his cape kind of like burned up. He like slid and the cape
he like roller skated.
Yeah. And then Snake shoots him again, and he flips off, and he goes, "Did I get him?" And I was like, "What?" And so
Solidus was all like, "You're not my dad."
Yeah. So I thought there was a little ridiculousness in that little fight cut scene. And then we have to start fighting this jet thing. Guy. This 2-man jet guy. I actually didn't have too much trouble with it. I don't know if you guys thought it was easy, but I mean, for me, it wasn't too bad. After I figured out like where to, like its cycle, I guess.
I enjoyed this fight a lot, actually.
Yeah.
While I was playing it today, I was like, man, this is not too hard, and it's a really fun set piece, and like, I don't know, it's just enjoyable. Like, it's like a perfect balance of like, it's important, it's a boss, it's different, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance, but at the end of the day, it's really just kind of like a pretty simple fight, but just kind of enjoyable.
But I mean, it's challenging because it's a jet. You're fighting a jet. Let's just put it that way. So it is challenging at points, and it's kind of a cool thing that you're up against this jet and two, I guess, super powerful enemies. So in that respect, it was really cool to be fighting it. But
yeah, this boss fight has my favorite music in the whole game, which is Yell Dead Cell. It's a really good song. I think we've heard it before with some of the other boss fights, but this is the one that like when I hear it, I think of this fight. And going back to when we had the conversation about the DARPA chief and his crazy like voice, Solidus's voice in this fight as it's like modulated by the airplane intercom is fucking amazing. Like, I love the way his voice sounds anytime he yells anything at you. Sam, did you have any notes about this fight?
It was actually kind of an easy fight for me. It's kind of another in a long line of trends where I did poorly on the bosses the first time I played it, and now I'm kind of storming through them. Because essentially what I did was I stayed on the platform by the stairs, and then I just kind of hid halfway down the stairs whenever it would like rain bullets on me. And then I would just hide down below every so often, but it was essentially a wash, rinse, repeat of me like running in a circuit for a little bit, and then it was pretty much it for me.
Nice. Well, tell us a little bit about what happens after the fight.
So you blow up the Harrier, and then some stuff happens, and you hurt Solidus' eye, which is gonna draw some more parallels to Big Boss later.
It's the opposite eye, though.
Yeah, it's the opposite eye. But you damage his eye, so it's like bleeding, and he goes like, "My eye!"
They got my eye.
Like that. He says it really strangely for some reason.
They got my eye!
My thought about that too, by the way, like, so have you guys ever like looked up to somebody so much that like whenever you realized that you were accidentally similar to that person, that like you were surprised but simultaneously like, oh sweet. I almost feel like Solidus has that moment where he's like, my eye, and then he thinks for a second and he's like, oh fuck yeah, I'm just like Big Boss. Do you think he had that like little kid moment?
Probably.
Yeah.
He's like, hell yeah. What else happens?
But so essentially what happens is the Harrier's going down, and Solidus yells at Vamp. He's like, Vamp, go! And Vamp jumps out of the Harrier, and he's just fucking running on water.
Oh my gosh.
So dude's vampire Jesus, and he's just straight up running on water. And then Solidus closes the cockpit to the Harrier, and Metal Gear Ray leaps out of the water and just like drags the Harrier down to the briny deep. So we're a little confused about what's going on,
to say the least.
But a lot of stuff is happening right now that is very important. And now Raiden is just super confused because the Colonel's mad about Snake, and Snake is like whatever, and Otacon's over here watching his Japanese animes, and we're just having a hell of a time trying to figure it out because we've just gotten reveal bomb after reveal bomb for the last like 30 minutes, and there's not a lot of time to process it. So
I will say the levels of, like, I have a note right here that says Metal Gear Solid 1 levels of disbelief are 2 times as high.
Yep.
And I will say, too, some really weird shit. Right after the fight, Raiden goes really fanboy mode on Snake, where he's like, oh my god, Solid Snake, oh my god. And then almost immediately is like, oh my god, Solid Snake, you're a terrorist, and I hate you. And it's like flip of a switch. Like, it's immediate.
And then don't they kind of explain what philanthropy was to them and how they were framed?
Yeah, they explain it, and it's weird, too, because the way Snake explains it is like, my best fucking friend once told me that, like, at least I fought for what I believed in, and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's a Gray Fox quote. When the fuck did Snake acknowledge that Gray Fox was his best friend?
Yeah.
So that was kind of confusing. And then the one thing that cracked me up is that Otacon is explaining to Raiden how they faked Solid Snake's death. And my favorite thing is that Otacon straight up says, and I quote, "We stole Liquid's body from some organization." Like, who? Like, who the fuck is keeping Liquid's body? And then Snake essentially goes on, it's like Snake's version of white guilt is like Metal Gear guilt. And he's just like, oh, what have we done? And then one of my favorite lines is when the Colonel starts flipping out and Raiden's flipping out. Raiden says, we're out here. We bleed. We die. And just, I don't know, the whole way that he says it just completely kills me. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, it's almost like Dennis Hopper in, like, Apocalypse Now, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's literally all of my notes for this episode. Isaac, do you have any final thoughts before we go into, like, wrap-up mode?
Oh, yeah. So right here, I went to save, and Rose and Raiden had a nice little conversation. Ooh. And Rose was like, "So let's stop. Let's enough talk about this. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about you." And then they go on and she tries to pry into his private life, or his personal life, and then they start arguing. And she's like, "You never tell me anything. I don't know anything about your personal life. I don't know what you I don't know what you used to do. I don't know what your parents did." I was like, "What? Where is this coming from?" It was really weird.
You are going to be straight up like excited when they get into the "I broke into your room" conversation.
Oh God, yeah, the apartment. Everything about Raiden's life that we hear about is so weird.
So I guess it makes sense then.
Yeah, again, we'll touch on it.
I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny too because I don't think they're randomized. Like, I think they happen in the same order every time. But it's interesting, like, when those conversations happen, kind of based on how much you save. But yeah, so that's pretty much the episode for this week. I'm sorry that it was a lot of, like, let's speed through what happened in the story and a lot less of, like, let's have fun little anecdotes. I feel like it's kind of a catch-22, so, like, we had way more fun anecdotes in the Metal Gear Solid 1 season and way less, like, story focus. Which makes for, to me personally, I think it's more fun to listen to anecdotes and funny stuff. But the catch-22 is that people are like, oh, you guys didn't touch on this, you didn't touch on that. And then we even felt like personally, like, fuck, we didn't talk about this and this and this. So now that we are talking, like, hyper-specific story, I feel like we have way less time to kind of cut up and goof around.
I don't know about all that.
You don't think so?
I did manage to fit a Harry Carey joke in there, so
That's true. That's true. I don't know. I guess me personally, I feel like we're kind of like going from bullet point to bullet point pretty fast, but maybe that's just me being over analytical. But yeah, so in a way for us to kind of interact with you guys and take some time to do some fun shit. Sam, can you read us our iTunes reviews, emails, and mention our fun little Twitter encounter?
yeah, sure. So the first thing I'm going to mention, that whole Twitter encounter. So, young man tweeted us, me and Alessio, name of, and I'm gonna go ahead and say the name because it's public record on Twitter. Ryan Verone, who has a locked account, so don't follow him. Tweeted me and Alessio talking about how he listens to the show on Twitter, and he was really excited to continue the adventures of Peter Still Black Man, and the Stitcher feed cut out at about 17 minutes. So he reached out to us, and I looked into it, and Stitcher was being weird because the feed was fine everywhere else. And Alessio was straight up like, here, take this link and listen to it on the site. And he came back and he told us that the link worked great and that it was a great episode. And I want to thank Ryan for bringing that to my attention so I could try and fix it in the future, and for being an awesome listener.
And we can neither confirm nor deny that he is in fact a young man. He might be an old man or a middle-aged man.
I have seen his Twitter picture, and he looks like a young man, relative to what I would consider an old man. I don't know.
No, totally. Well, and I will say this to Sam too. Well, we talked a little off record, but just like having relatively a complete stranger tweet inside jokes about Metal Gear to us from our show was really, really fun and was awesome. And honestly, we would definitely be down for more people to interact with us over Twitter. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, definitely feel free to blast us. I'm at AC Summerfield, and Sam is at SamWrightDPS.
Yep.
And we're on Twitter, and there's also at GeekTimePod. But Sam, would you tell us about our iTunes reviews or emails?
We don't have any emails, but we do have a new iTunes review. It's a 5-star review from Apiarion. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the pronunciation there. The subject of this one is, from one rabid fan to another, these guys are super entertaining. So I'm already pretty high on this review. Apiarion says, I got into MGS late in life with MGS4, even though I am not, in fact, a teenager, which is a callback to a shout-out we had last time. Being a completionist, when 4 came out, I had to play all the others before I could let myself touch it, and in the process got totally absorbed in this crazy story. Now that the story of Metal Gear is coming to an end, and while there aren't many people around me in my day-to-day life that I can gush about and pick apart and reminisce over the series with, these guys get it, and that's in all caps, get it.
Aww.
And on top of that, they are thoroughly entertaining to listen to as well. Came here for MGS5 discussion and got so much more. Keep it up, and please follow through to the end. Signed, your number 1 fan.
Aww.
So
does that mean it's Mr. X?
Yes. There's mines there.
Who are you?
Mr. X, then.
That's awesome. No, that's a killer review, and first off, thank you so very, very much. Secondly, Sam and I were having a conversation off book while we were waiting on Isaac to get ready for the recording, and we were actually talking about how this week I'm probably going to sit down and Excel spreadsheet out the rest of the entire show as far as episode breakdown. And moving into Metal Gear Solid 3, we actually want to start getting guests on the show. And that being said, like, we are wanting them to be somewhat qualified to talk about Metal Gear. So like we're looking at Metal Gear fans that we've found on other podcasts, or looking for people who run sites on Metal Gear or whatever, just like fun, engaging people. So anybody who leaves us an iTunes review or anybody that listens, if you guys have any suggestions, or you're like, I love this guy who also talks about Metal Gear on another part of the internet, or honestly speaking too, if any of you fans out there are interested in taking a crack at it, like, we can't totally promise that we're going to be able to have a fan on the show, but we'd love to at least have one fan on the show at some point.
Yeah, at least entertain the idea and kind of
totally
workshop it. So.
Totally. So definitely go to our contact page on our website, which is geekti.me. And if you would, I mean, if you have recording equipment, if you want to record yourself doing like a quick little like 30-second long thing just so we can kind of hear the quality, and you want to email us a Dropbox link to check that out, we'd love to have a fan on the show for Metal Gear Solid 3. And we're trying to plan that out. I mean, it's not for another few episodes that we're even going to get to it. Actually, probably like at least a month, because we're actually going to get to some fun little micro episodes between 2 and 3. So it'll definitely be like a month maybe before we get to 3, maybe a month and a half. So there's definitely some time. So reach out to us. And other than that, definitely rate and review us on iTunes, and send us your emails with... we want to know your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, we've heard your thoughts on the show, and I definitely think we've heard enough good thoughts to where if we didn't get any other reviews for the rest of the show, I would be happy. So tell us what
that doesn't mean don't send them.
Yeah, that doesn't mean don't send them, but tell us what you think about the games too, because we want to read about the games. And tell us if we fucked anything up, and if you don't,
which we are prone to do sometimes.
Totally. And if you don't want to be a part of the iTunes ecosystem, definitely like us on Facebook and Twitter, which is Geek Time Pod, and SoundCloud. And tell a friend, man. Like, if you like the show, tell a friend about the show. That helps tremendously. And I will say too that I have been toying around with the idea of starting a Metal Gear Mondays Facebook page. So that way all the fans of the show can interact with each other. And I think that would be cool. So we might pull the trigger on that sometime soon. So definitely take a look at that. And yeah, guys, so that is our episode for this week. And thank you so much for listening. And remember, it's just a box.
Get in the box.
What's in the box?
You're in the box.
Be the box.
I am the box.
Damn it, Parker, I need pictures. Pictures of Solid Snake. And boxes.
Just a box.